Alina is almost 3 years old. She likes listening to lullabies and singing to her dolls. But a year ago, she had neither dolls nor a roof over her head.
I was in a totally helpless situation. I happened to live on the street with a child. People just passed me by. Nobody even tried to help. Then we found someone who did, and we came here. I think it's going to be okay now. I'm trying to make it so.
Now Oksana and her daughter live in a shelter in Chernivtsi. Mothers and daughters from all over Ukraine get support here. The shelter provides housing, food, clothing, and medical assistance to those in desperate need. The shelter is named Marta's Dream after its founder.
I've always wanted to create a center where mothers could get support. Mothers get education here, find jobs, and they leave the shelter standing on their own feet. They can rent apartments and they know who they are. Our alumni came here to help with cooking and to look after the children. That's a cycle of good. That's why it's Marta's Dream. I really wanted to do this.
Marta turned her dream into a reality, and she intends on expanding it with a kindergarten, several buildings, and a rehabilitation center. Ordinary citizens donate to the shelter because they believe that helping mothers and their children who are in need is better than sending the child off to an orphanage.
I've been traveling to remote villages and regions for a while. I see that poor families aren't always bad families. Parents sing their children lullabies. They love them. Maybe sometimes they don't have enough money for food or to renovate their apartments, but the poor aren't always hopeless. It's not a sentence to an orphanage.
Volunteers at the shelter believe that the children will strive to recreate the atmosphere of comfort they saw there.
There are children here, my mom. I like everything here, everything. When I just arrived here, my first impression was being stunned. I've seen houses like these only in the movies. And when I saw a big TV screen, I was stunned even more.
The government also tries to keep children with their families. Ukraine is trying to reform the old Soviet system, where instead of helping the child, they're just sent to an orphanage. Prevention is the new policy. It's pursued through emergency shelters like Marta's Dream. If this is a mother and children shelter, it's important for the government to give this opportunity, because today half of the children in orphanages have parents. But for now, we don't have the necessary conditions to support long stays for mothers and children in shelters like this. Officials promise to reform the system in the near future. After the laws are changed, the government will be able to finance shelters which will facilitate their spread to all regions of Ukraine.